Hi, my name is Bianca Medina, and the Cubist painting I chose for my presentation is a portrait of Ambroise Vollard by Pablo Picasso. Here's the picture, and then here's the picture in color. It is easy to see that in the picture a lot of neutral colors are used, a lot of grays, blacks, whites, browns, and everything. And that's different from a lot of the other pictures I looked at, which used a lot of brighter colors like yellow and green and blue and everything. But I found it still interesting to look at because the picture's completely different than a lot of the other portraits. This portrait is just completely just the face made together by the geometric shapes instead of the face being geometric shapes, like half the face being this way, half the face being that way and everything, different body parts being different places and everything. This is still a portrait of a person, just geometric shapes to make up the portrait. The painting was painted in 1910, and another reason I chose this painting was because I thought the man in the painting was interesting to look at. The way his eyes are kind of downcast. You can just completely just see his bald head and everything. You can see his beard and everything. You just see everything about him, but not exactly the details about him necessarily, but you can still see who he is. So before I researched who the man in the picture was, I thought the guy was probably like a priest or someone like that, but I found out that he was actually a famous art dealer at the time. And he did a lot of work with like selling Van Gogh paintings and Picasso's and everything. He was pretty successful, I'm guessing, at the time. He was famous for selling like avant-garde paintings, like modern art and everything. Vollard was from a small French colony. Once I looked him up, I found out that he was from a small town, didn't have no previous like connections with art necessarily, but it's something that he loved. Before he got into art dealing, he went to school to study law, but it obviously didn't work out, and in 1890 he decided that being an art dealer was what he was going to do. And at first he had a little bit of a rocky start and everything, but it ended up going pretty good for him. I read like what people's opinions of him was, and there was a lot of mixed opinions. Like some artists felt that he kind of used them and didn't give them enough money and everything. Then other people had really close relationships with him and thought of him as like good friends and like liked to be around him and everything. Vollard was a larger man of kind of intimidating stature to some, but actually in some of his portraits he was found with a cat of his, so he was a cat person. And I also I promise I don't hold him like that because that looked really bad, but he's over here under my bed. But I also like cats a lot, and he's really sweet. His name is Baby George, but he often did portraits with his cat and everything, and he was very gentle with him and loved him very much. So that was really good. And so overall he was a good guy, I think, and maybe he got a bad rap or something, but I think him and Picasso were pretty close friends and everything, like did a lot of work together from what I looked up. But actually Vollard was not a fan of Cubism. He really did not like the movement or anything. I don't think he was a big fan of modern art overall, maybe. And it's something that he really missed out on selling money-wise and stuff, because he didn't buy into it, and I think he wanted like Picasso maybe not to do as much of it and stuff, but he got a portrait of Cubism taken of him and stuff, you know. So I'm really glad I picked this picture because I learned a lot about and Boris Vallard himself, and I learned more about Picasso and his relationship, and the picture overall I really liked a lot because it's just interesting to look at. It's different than everything else I looked at. It's different than everything else I looked at, and I really liked the picture. And you know, cats are, I think the guy was a lot like a cat, kind of finicky and stuff, and had different personalities, and you know, liked to get into stuff and everything. But it was a good picture to look up, and I learned a lot about it, and hopefully I taught everyone else something about it too. So thank you.